The moment the old Mustang coughed and died in the middle of the sunlit roadside, Elias Crow felt that familiar twist in his chest, the one that came when fate tested how much kindness a tired man still had left. He had been counting coins for groceries, his hands still smelling of engine oil, when he saw her standing there in a pressed white blouse, sunglasses hiding her eyes, frustration tightening her posture. He could have driven past. He didn't. And that single choice would quietly unravel everything he thought he knew about struggle, pride, and second chances. Before the story truly begins, if you believe kindness still matters in a hard world, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Life Spark Stories. Your support keeps stories like this alive and reminds others that compassion can still change lives. Elias was a single father in his early 30s, living on the edge of exhaustion and hope. His days were spent repairing engines at a small independent garage, his nights helping his young son Mateo with homework under flickering kitchen light. Since Mateo's mother passed away, Elias had learned how to survive on very little. Less sleep, fewer meals, and dreams folded neatly away so they wouldn't hurt as much. The Mustang, however, pulled at something deeper. It was a classic car, powerful even in silence, and it deserved more than abandonment on a bright afternoon. He knelt beside the engine, shielding his eyes from the midday sun, quickly noticing a simple but deceptive fault. His hands moved with confidence born from years of fixing what others gave up on. The woman watched quietly, offering no name, no explanation, just a polite distance that suggested she was used to people helping without asking questions. Within minutes, the engine came back to life, its roar echoing against the open sky. Elias refused payment. He said some things were just the right thing to do. The woman thanked him and left, but not before taking a long look at his grease-stained shirt, the faded photo of a little boy taped to his dashboard, and the tired kindness in his eyes. Elias thought nothing of it afterward. Life returned to its usual rhythm: broken radiators, overdue bills, and the steady weight of responsibility pressing on his shoulders. Weeks later, everything shifted in daylight, under clear skies that felt too ordinary for what was about to happen. Elias' garage received an unexpected visit from a team of sharply dressed professionals. They spoke calmly, confidently, and asked for him by name. Standing behind them was the woman from the Mustang, now without sunglasses, her expression gentle but serious. Her name was Maribel Knox, and she owned a global automotive technology empire valued in the billions. She hadn't broken down by accident. She had been driving, thinking, overwhelmed by her own world, when fate intervened through a struggling mechanic who treated her like any other human being. Maribel explained that she had spent her life surrounded by people who measured worth in transactions. Elias had reminded her that integrity still existed without an invoice attached. She offered him a partnership, funding to modernize his garage, education opportunities, and a secure future for Mateo. Elias didn't accept immediately. Pride and fear wrestled inside him. He worried about strings attached, about losing control of the simple life he had built for his son. What changed his heart wasn't the money. It was the realization that saying no meant teaching Mateo to stay small out of fear. With cautious trust, Elias accepted. The garage transformed, but Elias didn't. He still wore oil-stained clothes, still fixed engines with patience, still came home before sunset to cook dinner with his son. Maribel remained quietly involved, never seeking credit, watching as kindness multiplied into opportunity. Years later, Elias stood in the same garage, sunlight streaming through new windows, watching Mateo help another stranded driver. The cycle had continued. What began as a broken-down Mustang became a reminder that compassion is never wasted. It just waits for the right moment to return. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that simple goodness can ripple into miracles, please take a moment to engage with this video. Your likes, shares, and comments mean more than you know to this channel. And before the ending, here's a special request. Comment "Kindness still wins" if you believe one small act can change a lifetime. Because sometimes the richest empires aren't built with money at all, but with humanity offered freely in the middle of an ordinary day.